Broadway was probably swarming with chorus girls who had yenned to throttle Alfie. "Mrs. Woodby," Berta whispered in my ear, "stop twitching, for goodness sake. Anyone would think you needed to visit the powder room." She straightened her hat, patted her gray bun, and trained her eyes back onto the droning priest. I flattened my lips, simulating grief. Who would buy it? The thing was, I'd been 19, only a girl, when my parents thrust me into a union with Alfie. My marriage had been a stroke of fortune for Father's Wall Street endeavors, and a windfall for Mother's social calendar. But Alfie had been a horror of a husband. I'd survived my marriage with an unholy combination of highballs, detective novels, and chocolate layer cake. Really, anyone would think that I should have killed Alfie. Now, I was a 31-year-old society matron with life unspooling like blank ticker tape before me, an apartment on Park Avenue, a rambling oceanfront mansion, and oodles of bucks I hadn't the foggiest how to start spending. "Lord, have mercy upon us," the priest finished. He drew a hanky from somewhere inside his vestments and swabbed his rain-spattered forehead. St. Percival's Cemetery in Hares Hollow, New York, is a charming spot to push up the daisies. Acres of rolling green grass, antique headstones, and graceful old trees overlook the little town, with a vista of Long Island Sound beyond. That morning, however, a low gray sky churned. As soon as the burial ended, everyone hoofed it toward the long row of parked motor cars. "Darling!" someone shrilled, just as Berta and I set out for my own motor car. Phooey. I turned. Olive Arbuckle, society queen bee, sidled toward me. She wore an eel-black dropped-waist dress and a black taffeta raincoat. Years of tennis, sailboating, golf, and dressage had whittled Olive's figure down to that of a dried herring. Her girthy husband, Horace, trundled behind, holding an umbrella over her. "Lola, you poor darling!" Olive smooched the air on either side of my hat. "Such a shock, a dreadful shock for us all." "So awfully sorry for your loss, Lola," Horace said. His mountainous bulk was clothed in fine Italian wool, and a fedora hid his balding head. Horace Arbuckle was a food industrialist. As a young man, he'd inherited his father's two-bit canned goods business and nurtured it into a whopping success. Everyone, of course, is familiar with his best-selling item, Auntie Arbuckle's pork and beans. "How are you feeling?" Olive asked me. "Keeping up your strength?" Her eyes flicked to my ankles. Okay, I admit it. I wasn't blessed by nature with a flapper's physique. Without high heels, it is at times difficult to distinguish exactly where my legs end and my feet begin. And these new cylindrical fashions are a bit of a challenge, since I carry somewhat more freight on my luggage rack, so to speak, than is fashionable, and my bust line would have been better appreciated in Anna Karenina's day. Nonetheless, I do adore beautiful things. I thought I cut quite the figure of a chic widow that morning. Drapey black raincoat that buttoned over one hip, black hat with a neat little brim, black T-strap heels. My Dutch-bobbed hair was glossy brown, and I wore just enough face paint to flatter my dark blue eyes. Nobody needed to know that egg yolk hair treatments, gallons of Pond's cream, and an industrial-grade girdle made it all possible. "I'm fine," I said to Olive, truly. "And I see you have your housemaid in attendance?" "Cook, actually," I said. Berta drew up all 5 feet 1 inch of herself in magisterial silence. "My family could not arrive in time for the funeral," I said. "What a pity." "Not really." "Yes," I said. "They set off from Rome just as soon as they heard the news. I believe they'll arrive home sometime tomorrow." Mother, father, and my sister, Lillian, were at present hurtling across the Atlantic aboard a Cunard ocean liner, returning from a 3-month-long European shopping